The bar throbbed with noise that night, a smoky haven where laughter tangled with curses, and the clinking of glass drowned out softer voices. Dim lights barely cut through the haze, and leather-clad men wore their tattoos like shields. It was a place of shadows and bravado, where the fragile figures behind the counter often went unnoticed. Among them was Emily, a quiet waitress who carried herself with modesty and a grace no one seemed to see. She didn't stand out. Dressed simply in jeans and a white shirt, her hair tied neatly back, she moved quickly and efficiently between tables. Yet behind her calm smile and steady hands lived a storm she kept hidden, a weight she never revealed. That night, when a group of bikers stormed in, the air shifted instantly. They demanded attention with their laughter, their rough shoves, their predatory presence. Emily kept her gaze low, focusing on her work. But fate has a way of testing even the quietest souls. One of them, a tall, broad man inked from shoulder to wrist with a cruel grin etched across his face, turned his attention to her. He jeered, insulted, and tried to shake her calm exterior. When she refused to flinch, his pride snapped. In front of everyone, he grabbed her shirt and tore it open with a sneer. Gasps filled the room. Laughter followed, but what the crowd expected, fear, shame, humiliation, never came. What they saw instead silenced the bar. Bold across her chest was the unmistakable emblem of the United States Marine Corps. It wasn't just a tattoo. It was sacrifice. It was battles survived. It was courage etched into her very skin. The biker's grin faltered. His hand trembled. The room went still. Emily wasn't just a waitress, she was a Marine. If you believe in kindness, hidden strength, and second chances, please like this video, share it with someone who needs courage, and subscribe to Stories of Kindness. Your support keeps these powerful lessons alive. Emily stood tall, her breath steady, her eyes unblinking. That tattoo wasn't something she flaunted, nor something she wanted recognition for. It was a memory burned into her, a reminder of a life she had lived long before the bar. She had enlisted not for glory, but to escape the poverty and despair that had marked her youth. Her life had been a battle even before the Marines. But there, her spirit was forged in fire. She had seen things no one in that bar could imagine. Friends lost in combat, sleepless nights under fire, days when survival was the only prayer. And when she came home, she carried it all silently. She blended into ordinary life, working small jobs, hoping no one would ask about the ink that carried more grief than pride. But that night, her truth stood uncovered, and it demanded respect. The biker stumbled back, his false bravado shattered. He had sought to humiliate her, but instead revealed a strength greater than his own. Around him, the other men shifted uneasily, shame washing over those who had laughed moments earlier. The silence was heavier than any shout. Emily didn't boast. She didn't curse. She simply fixed her torn shirt and returned to work, as if nothing had happened. That quiet dignity spoke louder than rage ever could. From that night on, people saw her differently. The locals no longer looked past her. She was not just the quiet woman who cleared tables. She was a warrior who had endured battles far harsher than any of them could imagine. Customers began to greet her with gratitude. Strangers thanked her for her service, though she never asked. Slowly, those who once ignored her realized the strength she carried had been there all along. Yet what no one saw were the invisible wounds. Emily still fought private battles. Restless nights, memories that clawed at her peace, loneliness that lingered deep within. The bar job was more than a paycheck. It was her way to stay busy, to keep from slipping into darker thoughts. Even so, she gave more than she kept. She covered shifts for young coworkers, lent an ear to patrons with no one else to talk to, and slipped food to the hungry drifter who sometimes stopped by. Her own pain never stopped her from easing the pain of others. The biker never returned. Perhaps it was shame. Perhaps it was fear. But those who had witnessed the scene never forgot. In one act, Emily showed them that true strength isn't loud or violent. It's quiet, steady, unyielding. Years later, when the bar closed and the story faded into rumor, Emily's name remained. To some she was the waitress with the Marine tattoo. To others, she was the woman who commanded respect without a word. To those who truly knew her, She was a reminder that every face hides a story, and some stories hold the power to change us. If Emily's story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Stories of Kindness. Your support keeps these lessons alive. And before you leave, drop a comment below. What part of Emily's story moved you the most? Your words might inspire someone else. Because sometimes, the strongest people aren't the loudest or the fiercest. They are the ones who fight battles in silence and still choose to stand tall. Emily's story reminds us, behind every quiet face lies a history we may never understand. The world is quick to judge, quick to laugh, quick to dismiss the ordinary. But the truth is, the most extraordinary souls often walk among us unnoticed, carrying their strength not as a weapon, but as a shield for others. That night in the bar was more than confrontation. It was a mirror held up to society, showing how easily we overlook the courage of those who serve. Emily never wanted applause. She never sought recognition. She only wanted to live quietly, to do her work, and to find a little peace. Yet when forced into the spotlight, she revealed a strength that silenced cruelty and awakened respect. Her story isn't just about one night. It's about the hidden heroes we walk past every day. The single parents holding 2 jobs, the veterans carrying invisible scars, the ordinary people with extraordinary resilience. They may never ask for acknowledgement, but they deserve it all the same. So, the next time you see someone who looks quiet, tired, or ordinary, remember Emily. Remember that within them may lie a story powerful enough to move the world.